Cause wait a goddamn minute. Why am I so late to the party? Why didn't I know about Aaron Pierre? That's Mufasa. And Teyana Taylor. Baby, what? Oh, you're gonna love me. That shit looks so divine. It's almost look like they was made for each other. Them motherfucking pictures look like they supposed to be in an art museum. Like that shit looks so fucking French kid. I am here for it. I am here for it. That gotta be the reason why Lori was like, nah, I'm cool on him. Because you know Lori is not turning down no new bait, baby. She would have ate it up real quick. Oh, I'm just here for it. They look so damn good together. Like, what?
The internet is absolutely stunned. And for good reason. A full, uncut video has just leaked, and it doesn't just show any ordinary moment. It captures Teyana Taylor in the midst of an emotional breakdown. But the shock doesn't stop there. The person behind the camera? Her own partner, Aaron Pierre. The footage is raw, painful, and deeply personal. Teyana is seen sobbing, repeating how she can't take it anymore. Aaron can be heard in the background, and now fans everywhere are asking, why was he filming her at her most vulnerable moment? Was it an attempt to get help, or something darker? This isn't just a leaked clip. It's a mirror into something broken. And now, we break down every heartbreaking twist. The video made its debut on a newly created X, formerly Twitter, account with 0 followers. It showed Teyana Taylor in what looked like her home office, visibly shaken, sobbing, and repeating the words, "I can't do this anymore." She was pacing the room, holding her stomach like the weight of the world sat there. In the background, a male voice, widely believed to be Aaron Pierre, softly says, "Let it out, baby." The clip ends with her spotting the camera and pushing it away. Within just 10 minutes of being posted, it racked up over 2 million views. Shares, reactions, and hashtags exploded across platforms like wildfire. The internet wasn't just watching, they were emotionally invested. As the clip gained traction, so did debates across Reddit, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Many fans jumped to Aaron's defense, saying he might have been trying to document her mental state to show a therapist or loved ones. Others, however, called it emotional exploitation. "You don't film someone crying like that and post it," one user commented. "That wasn't love, that was a violation." Another said, "She looked broken." And he pressed record. The internet quickly split into #ProtectTeyana and #Aaron was trying to help factions. What was intended as documentation, or maybe manipulation, is now a full-blown war of opinions. Within hours of the video leak, Teyana's Instagram underwent a drastic change. All posts vanished. Stories deleted. Profile photo? Gone. She left nothing but an empty page behind. Fans panicked. Is she okay? Was this her choice? Did Aaron do this too? The silence felt louder than any statement she could have made. It left the internet to do what it does best, speculate. And the more time passed without a word from her, the more real and frightening the clip felt. Just when the situation couldn't seem more surreal, a second video surfaced. This one appeared to be filmed through a cracked door. Someone was clearly recording from outside the room. It confirms Aaron was the one holding the camera. In this angle, you hear Teyana say, "Why are you filming me?" His voice responds, "So you'll see how far you're falling." That line sent shockwaves. This wasn't about support. It sounded like control. The internet exploded again, this time with even more urgency. Screenshots and memes circulated, and even those previously on Aaron's side began switching teams. The entertainment community didn't stay silent for long. One of Teyana's longtime dance collaborators tweeted, "He crossed a line. Period." A stylist who worked with her on a music video wrote on Instagram, "We protect our own. Always." A string of influencers and celebs began reposting the clip with captions like "This ain't love," and "This is what happens when you ignore red flags." Support started pouring in from all sides, and suddenly the tide had fully turned. Where fans were once divided, the public sentiment was rapidly shifting to outrage. Aaron's team scrambled to contain the fallout, attempting to steer the narrative back in their favor. In what appeared to be a rushed attempt at damage control, they issued a formal statement, trying to distance both him and his management from the controversial video that had surfaced online. The statement read, "The video was never meant for public view. It was shared without our consent and is being investigated." But that vague line did little to calm the outrage spreading like wildfire across social media. In fact, it only made things worse. The internet had already entered full detective mode. Fans with technical know-how began examining the metadata of the video, and it didn't take long before digital breadcrumbs led them right back to Aaron himself. The data revealed that the video had been uploaded from a device that was connected to Aaron's Google Drive, clear evidence that someone from his own inner circle, or perhaps Aaron directly, had been involved in the initial upload. Online users wasted no time in calling out the contradiction. One particularly scathing tweet that gained viral traction sarcastically asked, "So, it leaked itself?" This question was echoed thousands of times across platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, each version steeped in ridicule. Trust in Aaron's side of the story disintegrated almost instantly. What had been positioned as an apology or a justification quickly morphed into the next chapter of the scandal. Instead of cooling tensions, the statement added fuel to the fire. Rather than sympathy, the internet responded with memes mocking the weak excuse, remixing the quote and turning it into punchlines that flooded timelines and comment sections. The backlash wasn't limited to the internet. Within Teyana's circle, the anger was even more palpable. Her sister, known for her straightforward personality and fierce loyalty, had clearly reached a breaking point. She took matters into her own hands and reposted the original video, this time accompanied by a searing caption that cut deep. "You really thought this would help her?" It wasn't just a rhetorical question, it was a public indictment. Her caption continued, "You're not family. You're press with a pillow." That one stinging line became a rallying cry for those who felt Aaron had crossed a line. It was clear, concise, and brutal, and it went viral almost instantly. Comments poured in praising her for standing up for her sister, for refusing to let the narrative be twisted, and for calling out the performative nature of Aaron's so-called concern. The shift in public sentiment was immediate. While some had initially been confused or even sympathetic toward Aaron, the tide turned sharply. People began calling for accountability in real terms. Fans and followers weren't content with statements or passive responses. They wanted real consequences. According to sources close to the situation, Teyana's mother had already begun making moves behind the scenes. Conversations with attorneys were reportedly underway to determine whether any legal lines had been crossed, including violations of personal privacy and potential digital abuse. If Aaron's upload had, in fact, been intentional, it could carry real legal implications. For Teyana, whose vulnerability had been exposed without her consent, the shift in her support system must have been significant. The people closest to her were no longer staying silent. The protective shield around her, once shaky and perhaps even absent, was beginning to form, and it was formidable. Fans noted this shift too, expressing relief that Teyana wasn't facing the fallout alone. Amid all this noise and drama, a quiet moment cut through the chaos. Iman Shumpert, Teyana's former partner, shared an Instagram story that stood in stark contrast to the ongoing spectacle. In the clip, he was at a park with his daughter, both of them laughing, carefree, swinging side by side. The story was simple. No dramatic music, no pointed captions, just a moment of peace. The only text overlay read, "Protect your peace at all costs." He didn't name names, didn't reference the scandal, didn't even allude to the video. But everyone watching knew what it meant. And perhaps more importantly, they felt it. That quiet post became its own kind of statement. Comments flooded in beneath reposts of the story, with many users drawing their own conclusions. "This is why she broke down," one commenter wrote. Another added, "Maybe Iman was the safe one all along." The implications were subtle, but unmistakable. In contrast to Aaron's chaos and the emotional wreckage he had seemingly caused, Iman's calm demeanor and focus on fatherhood painted a very different picture. The juxtaposition was striking, and the internet noticed. As the clip continued to spread and gain national attention, it started drawing interest beyond the usual gossip blogs and entertainment sites. Licensed therapists, mental health advocates, and domestic violence specialists began weighing in. One particularly articulate TikTok therapist took the video and broke it down frame by frame. Her analysis highlighted signs of trauma, coercion, and emotional manipulation. She argued that what viewers had witnessed wasn't a dramatic meltdown or a petty couple's quarrel. It was a woman doing her best to survive an emotional ambush. Her concluding statement was particularly haunting. This was not a cry for help. This was a woman trying to survive an emotional ambush. The professional community echoed similar sentiments. Think pieces began to appear in major media outlets and psychology blogs. Discussions emerged around the concept of emotional consent, how individuals in relationships deserve not just physical respect, but emotional safety as well. Experts pointed out that society too often dismisses public breakdowns as mere drama or attention-seeking, rather than as the result of prolonged emotional distress. The conversation quickly evolved from a scandal centered on a single clip to a broader examination of how we treat mental health, privacy, and respect in relationships. For many, the viral clip had served as a wake-up call. Not just about Aaron and Teyana, but about how easily personal pain can be exploited, how quickly public opinion can shift, and how desperately the culture needs to evolve in how it handles emotional transparency. The story that began with a supposed leak and a hollow apology had transformed into something much bigger, a cultural moment that forced reflection, reckoning, and, hopefully, change. If things weren't already bad enough, a third and final video surfaced. It was only 15 seconds long, but it packed the biggest punch. Teyana is seen shouting, "I said don't film me." Aaron's voice is heard again. "You're unstable and this needs proof." The clip is louder, more aggressive, and confirms what many already feared. This wasn't some emotional support attempt gone wrong, this was calculated. It was control disguised as care. And with that, the remaining defenders Aaron had left began to disappear. What started as a private moment of vulnerability has turned into a public scandal that's rocked the internet to its core. Aaron Pierre may have thought he was proving something, but what he really did was ignite a movement of support around Teyana Taylor. The video wasn't just a leak, it was a line crossed. And now, even casual fans are tuned in, angry, and emotionally invested. This may very well be the final straw in a relationship already hanging by a thread. One thing is for sure, Teyana's tears are echoing louder than any apology Aaron could ever give. And the internet? It never forgets.